everyone. This is Paramita, Salesforce developer. Now, Merry Christmas and wish you all a happy and prosperous New Year 2025. Hope you are enjoying your holiday, and I am also enjoying my holiday right now. I am in Sydney. I am on holiday actually, but today is 31st December, so I want to finish this end-to-end marketing cloud campaign project today before end of the year. So I took out some time out of my holiday and I am sitting here in my hotel room and I am trying to finish it up. Now, without wasting much time, I'll start. So in my last video, I have created few data extensions, these three data extensions, out of which this Black Friday campaign 2024 is a sendable data extension that is going to be the entry source for our journey. And I have also created another two data extensions, customer register and purchase register. Now, when I started, I mentioned about some assumptions that we already made some assumptions, and maybe by the time we go along with the project, we may need to do some more assumptions. Now, the first assumptions I said that these two data extension, customer register and purchase register, they are existing data extensions in my org or in my company, whatever. Okay. Now, from where we are getting the data in these two data extensions, that is out of the scope of my project. Now, but still I am giving you some idea like from where it can, like data can come. Maybe you have already some other existing automations which are deriving data like data from your synchronized data extensions to these data extensions, or maybe you are just importing data from somewhere, maybe from AWS or from some other place where your company uh, store data. Okay, so if they have some legacy database or something, they can store data from there, and from there probably you are importing data here through automations or something. Okay, so these are some like just ideas. I'm explaining what happens in reality, but at the moment that is out of scope of our project. So now these data extensions are already here in our org, customer register and purchase register. Okay, so we already created the data extension, and I have already explained about the structure of this, and I have also created one attribute group and added all these three data extensions. Okay, and I have explained the relationships between these data extensions as well. So now I need some data here, all these data extensions. What I am going to do basically, I will just I'll just show you again the structure here. So this is customer register. Here we are having some attributes. You can see like customer ID, which is the primary key, and then full name, email, mobile, interest of customers, like what type of like what is it their interest, like hiking or um, running, or maybe movies, entertainment, something like this. What are their interests? Okay, so those things, if they want, they can put all those informations when they are getting registered or something like that. That is again out of our scope, but all this data will be stored in this data extension. Okay, so why I put the interest here, like depending on their interest, as I mentioned in the beginning, that we are creating this campaign for special discount on Black Friday for a company called Paramita and Company, which is a clothing brand. Now, the clothing brand, they sell all different types of clothing like shapewear, lingerie, party dress, all kind of things. So people who are interested in hiking and all, they can be interested in dresses like maybe sportswear, or all those kinds of dresses which will be beneficial or helpful for their hiking and stuff. People who are more interested in party and stuff, they will be interested in party dress. Okay, so that's why I have created one attribute called interest. So on the basis of that, I can personalize the email. Okay, so and yeah, so all those type we'll discuss gradually one by one. And here I need some data in this data extension. Right now we don't have any data, so I will create some dummy data. I will go to mokaru.com. You know, Mokaru, there is an website where we can create dummy data. Yeah, so this is mokaru.com. So here I am creating some dummy data, and after that I'm going to import those data in my these two data extension. Okay, so I have created some dummy data in Mokaru. So now I have data in my customer register. If you see the customer register data extension, we have records there now. And you see customer ID, full name, email, mobile. I haven't got any mobile because in our journey we're not going to use mobile SMS message or push up. We are just going to use the email. So I have left this column. And then interest, like what is customers interest, whatever they have mentioned their interest, maybe when maybe in their preference center or when they are getting registered, they can mention this, like their hobby or interest, like fitness or party, hiking, camping, etc. And then their address. Yeah, the purchase register. So if you go to the purchase register data extension, you can see some records here now available, like purchase ID, customer ID, amount spent, purchased it. Now if you haven't watched my last video, I will suggest you to watch that video first. There I have already explained the relationship between this purchase register and the customer register. Like one customer can make many purchases. So the relationship between customer register and purchase register is like one to many. Okay, so yeah, so here the purchase ID is the primary key and the customer ID is the foreign key, which is showing the relationship between this data extension and customer register data extension. All right, so now we are going to create one SQL query activity in Automation Studio, which will derive data from both these data extension uh, to get the data about the customers who have spent more than 300, like $300 or more in last 3 months. Okay, so we will get all those customers who have spent more than $300, like 300 or more than $300 in last 3 months, that means in last 90 days. So we will derive those customers and their details, like their customer ID, name, and then address and their interest, etc. Okay, and we will put those data in our entry source data extension, which we created for Black Friday campaign 2024. Okay, so we will derive all these informations. Now I created one enter journey attribute here. Probably I will not need that, but for the time being I will keep it, but mostly I am not going to use that. Anyway, there is no harm in keeping this at the moment. So now I will go to the Automation Studio. So I am creating a new automation here. I will name it Black Friday campaign. Okay, you can name it as you want depending on your project. It should be it should be related to your project. So I am naming it Black Friday campaign automation. Now I am going to do it scheduled automation. Okay, this is not file drop or anything, it will be scheduled. um, I'll configure it later on. First I am going to create the SQL query activity here. Now we are going to use SQL query activity because filter activity is not going to be enough. We have to work with more than one data extension here, so we have to use SQL. Now before going further, I want to show you like our target data extension, which is actually going to be the entry source for our journey, that is Black Friday campaign 2024. Now the attributes we created here was customer ID, full name, email, mobile, interest, and enter journey, log date. Okay, now here I will do some modification, like I don't want this enter journey. Now when I will do modification, because they have been connected to the attribute group in contact builder, we cannot edit these data extensions in email studio, so we have to do it in contact builder. So just remember that we are in contact builder right now, and I have opened that Black Friday campaign 2024 data extension. Now I don't need this enter journey attribute, so I will just delete it. Okay, you cannot delete any attributes using existing data relationship before removing those relationships. Use the okay. So yeah, so this is the thing. Once you uh, once you connect your data extension to attribute group, uh, you have to unlink that. Uh, then only you can delete any attribute. I will just check if I can add one attribute group here. What's going to happen? I want to add one attribute, that is amount spent. Okay, uh, total amount spent. This is actually I want to put this attribute because we can see in the data extension then how much they have spent. We can test whether they have spent more than 300 or not in last 3 months. So this is total amount spent, means total amount spent in last 3 months. Okay, so this is going to be decimal 18 and 2, default value nothing, required not required, I'll keep it as not required, create. Okay, so we can create new attribute here directly, but if we want to delete any attribute, we have to unlink from the attribute group, and then we can. Now I don't need to do that. What, instead of doing that, what I'm going to do, I will just put the default value as true, because uh, why I was thinking to delete this attribute, um, because the way I'm going to create the automation and the SQL query, this data extension is going to hold only those data who are going to enter in the journey. So basically whatever data will come here, they all will be entered in journey. Okay, so I don't need to create this attribute enter journey basically. So whoever will be here, obviously they entered the journey. Okay, so I didn't need this attribute actually, but yeah, now again I have to unlink from attribute group, and then I have to change it, and then I have to connect all the data extension. So instead of doing that, I am just putting the default value as true. So by default, whatever data will enter in this target data extension, so they are basically true. They have basically entered the journey. Okay, so that's why I made the default value as true. Okay, so hope it's clear to you guys. So yeah, so I'm just avoiding now some extra work to unlink the data extension from attribute group, because this is the main data extension, the sendable data extension, which is connected to the contact key. If I want to unlink that, then probably I will have to unlink all the data extension. Okay, it's a big job now. So again, I have to link them. So instead of doing this for the timing, what I'm going to do, I just made the default value of this enter journey boolean attribute as true. Okay, all right, so now we are going to create our automation, which I already created. I'm going to create the SQL query activity there. All right, okay, so you can see that I have put some dummy data which I started before using the mokaro.com. So I have inserted some dummy data here in the customer register data extension, and also which is an existing data extension as I explained. Also some more records in the purchase register. Okay, now we are going to create one SQL query activity in the automation which I created before, our Black Friday automation. Uh, we are going to create the SQL query activity which will derive the required information in our target data extension, which is Black Friday campaign 2024. Okay, so we'll derive the information from those two data extensions into this data extension, and we'll derive all these informations. Okay, customer ID, full name, email, mobile, interest, uh, log date, total amount spent, all this. Okay. Okay, so this is the SQL query activity I have created. I'll just explain what I have done here. So basically, here you can see I have done one inner join between this customer register and purchase register, those two existing data extension. This is an inner join and using the foreign key customer ID. Okay, on C is the alias for customer register, P for purchase register. On C dot customer ID equals P dot customer ID. Okay, and I have derived all the required column like customer ID from customer register, full name, email, mobile from customer register, interest also, and then get date. Get date is the SQL function in SMFC which will derive the current date, and I am taking that as a log date. Okay, then some I'm using here group by clause. So sum p dot amount spent as total amount spent. P means the purchase register. So from the purchase register, I am basically deriving last 3 months amount spent, and I am summated. I will sum it up. So the total amount spent in last 3 months, that will be shown as total amount spent here in my target data extension. Okay, and then from and after joining also what I'm going to do, uh, another condition, like I don't want to take any, like I don't want to take any customer ID which is uh, present already present in the Black Friday campaign. Okay, if something is already present in the Black Friday campaign, I don't want to take them. So that's why I'm doing a left join with Black Friday campaign 2024 data extension, and uh, then uh, And there also I am using the same foreign key customer ID. So c dot customer id equals bf dot customer id. So just note, this is a left join. So I am basically doing left join with customer register, the Black Friday campaign. So where p dot purchase date greater than or equals, uh, this is the date add function in SMFC, if you know. So that's how I am taking last 90 days data only, okay, not more than that. And then and bf dot customer id is null. So that means the customer ID which is not present in Black Friday campaign, I will take only those customers. Okay. So whatever customer is already in the Black Friday campaign target data extension, I will not take those customer. Okay. Because whatever customer we have selected before and it has entered the target data extension, they are already in the journey, they are receiving the email, so I don't want to enter them again in the journey. All right, so that's why I am doing this left join here. And then group by all these columns, because if you know, if you have used group by clause, you know, if I don't mention this column here, yeah, I will not be able to derive the information from those columns. So you know how to, I assume that you know how to use group by clause. If not, then I'll tell you to go back and see the documentation, like how to use group by in SQL. Okay, so then having that amount spent, the total amount spent uh, in last 3 months greater than or equal 300. Okay, so this is the clause I am mentioning in the having clause. All right, so there are normally like three kind of action, like update. There are normally three kind of data action, like append, update, or override. Now I have chosen update. So when you choose the update, that means it will update the existing record, or if can't find the existing record with the same primary key, it's going to add the new record. Okay, so yeah, that's why I chose here update. That is that's what I required for my requirement, not the override. If you choose override, it's going to like remove everything on the all the old data and it will just put the new data. I don't want that, so I have chosen update as a data action here. Okay, now I have to schedule this automation, as I have already mentioned that this is a scheduled automation, not the file drop one. So I would like to schedule it daily once till the Black Friday. Now I'll click on configure the start date. Ideally, I thought that I'll run this automation like 1 week before the Black Friday, but now Black Friday is already gone, so I'll choose this just the today's date. Today is 3rd January, so it has to be today's date or after today, because you cannot choose any, you know, previous date, obviously. So I chose today's date and start time. Maybe I can choose, I just want it to run like every day 6 a.m. See, it's showing the red thing. You can ignore that. You can still choose this time. But what happens in Marketing Cloud, we have a feature. It recommends a time which is suitable for your automation. What happens, there are a lot of other automations also in the organization, so depending on that, if the time is too busy, then your automation will be in queue, it will take a long time to run. So that's why uh, what I have seen, that if we use the recommended time, sometimes it's really makes some difference, like your automation runs faster, more efficiently. Okay, so I will go with the recommended time and see now that dot has become like green. Now time zone, you can choose the time zone as per your office location and stuff. But right now I'm just leaving it as it is. And repeat, none. Is it just one time automation, then you will choose none. Otherwise, if it's never ending, um, you can choose that, like how often do you want to run the automation, hourly, weekly, daily, etc. So for me, I want it daily. Okay. And end, uh, if it never ends, if it will just keep on running, you don't know when it's going to stop, then you choose never. But we know when we want to stop, because this is a Black Friday campaign, so we want it to stop at the date of Black Friday. But unfortunately, Black Friday is already gone this year, so I will just choose it on date. uh, I'll just choose the next Friday, that is 10th of January. Okay, so it will stop on 10th of January. But in reality, I wanted it to stop on Black Friday actually. So now in coming Friday, it's going to stop. So then done. So I have configured how it's going to run. Now after this, I have to save. And after saving, like if everything is done, my whole project, like journey, automation, everything have been tested, ready to go, then I will activate this automation. Okay, just click on active and then activate and then save. All right. So, but in my case, I don't want to activate it because I'm just doing it for training purpose. I'll pause it. Okay. So I just paused it and then save. So it will not, but I am going to show you how to run that. Even after pause, I'll run it and I'll show you how it's putting the data, it's populating the data in my target data extension, that is Black Friday campaign 2024. Okay, Black Friday campaign 2024 data extension. All right. So now I am going to run this. I have already validated. I'll validate another time. Yeah. So this is right. No error here. Then next. So I am going to run this query now. Run once. Select all. Run. Run now. So you can see at this moment there is no data in our target data extension. So it's running now. Okay, so it's finished now. So we'll go to our data extension and we'll check it. We'll refresh. Yes, see, we got some records. So what records we got? For each customer ID, we got name, email. I didn't put any mobile data, so mobile is empty. Their interest and log date is showing today's date, and then total amount spent. See, all these total amount spent are more than 350. Okay, I have already checked, like I went back to those data extension and I found I have verified this data already. So these are so these are correct data, whatever we wanted. Like since last 3 months, people who have spent 300 or more, they have entered this data extension only. Okay, so now I am going to use this as entry source in my journey. So the finally we are going to create our journey. So we'll go to journey builder. Now I'm creating one new journey here. I will give it a name, Black Friday 2024 parameter. Now you can see there are quite a few options like multi-step journey, single send journey, transactional send journey. Now multi-step journey means there will be quite a few steps here. Okay, whatever I will add the activities. Single send journey means it will straight away send only one email to a lot of contacts, so like that. But my one is not going to be single send. There will be multi-step, like I will send some email, then I will send follow-up email, etc., etc. So I will choose multi-step journey. And another one here is transactional send journey. Like for transactional send, like uh, like suppose someone has purchased something, some product, and we are sending one purchase confirmation. Okay, so those kind of transactional send we can do using journey as well. So in that case we will use transactional send journey. But my one is like Black Friday promotion, so it's not a transactional send and not even a single send, so this is a multi-step journey. Okay, then create. Now my entry source is data extension, so I will choose here. Now in journey you can see in the left hand side some entry sources are there: API, event, cloud pages, audience, etc. Event. Now I'm not explaining each and everything here, then it will take long time. There are a lot of videos, existing videos already. Some lot of famous people, they have created very nice video like Cameron Robert and Shibu Abraham. They have created so many videos on journeys and automation studio. You can go and you can check there. And in future, whenever I get time, I'll try to create. But already many videos are there in the market. You can check in the YouTube. Now here I will use the data extension as my entry source, and I will configure that. So to configure, to connect it to my target data extension, I will click on that, select data extension, and I have selected the Black Friday campaign 2024 data extension. You can see now filter contacts. Okay, you can filter also here from this data extension if you want, but the good practice, the best practice recommended by Salesforce is that even before coming to the journey, if you can filter your all data using other things like in automation studio using filter activity or SQL Query activity, whatever is suitable for your requirement, that is recommended by Salesforce. Especially if you think that when you will filter data, it will be more than 50% data will be filtered, then definitely like you should filter your data before coming to the journey. Okay, so for me I always try to filter my data before coming to the journey. Okay, that will keep my data clean. Okay, and the journey performance will be better. So I am not using the filter activity here at all because I have already filtered my contact using the SQL query, which I have shown you before. So nothing else here I have to do. It's done. Now here what I'm going to use one decision split first. I'll just explain you shortly why I'm doing that. Activities, messages, these are the messages: email, in-app message, push notification, SMS, etc. So we are just going to use the email message here. But before that, the flow control activities, you can see here, the first one is decision split. So I am going to use one decision split here in the beginning. Why I am using that you must have noticed that in my target data extension, I created one attribute called interest. Okay, if you see the records, like different kinds of interest which customer has, like party, hiking, fitness, etc. Okay, so depending on their interest, the email which I will send uh, to offer them Black Friday discount coupon, like 20% discount coupon. So depending on their interest, I will put some images there. Like images means like those kind of product I will show in that email which product will make them interested to buy. Like people who are interested for fitness, I want to put some shapewear kind of product on my email. People who are interested in party, who enjoy parties and stuff, I'll put some party dresses on the email. Okay, so that's how I can personalize the email. So that's the reason I am going to use one decision split here, and I will show you how to configure the decision split. Like if I go to that data extension, like I have to first see, because I will use this column interest, like what kind of value are there. Like here I can see only party, hiking, fitness. Okay, so if there are only these three, then I will create three paths only. Basically I'll get two paths, and another will be the remaining path. And if there were more than these three value, so depending on that, I will create the number of paths. Okay, so here I think it's like I have used three values: party, hiking, fitness. Yeah, so according to that, the first path I'm going to create for party, I'll give it a name, party. Edit. Now here I would also like to explain that contact data and journey data. What is journey data and what is contact data? Now, if I use here the journey data, what happens? It will take the value of the column interest, like party or whatever, at the time of entering the journey. That means when a contact is entering the journey, okay? So that time, whatever is mentioned in the interest column, whether party or anything else, that will be taken to make the decision. Okay, if I use the journey data. But if I use the contact data, what it does, now during the journey, like suppose here our decision split is at the beginning of the journey actually, so that's why it doesn't matter, we can use journey data also. But in some situation, what happens, we use the decision split maybe in the beginning, not just at the maybe in the middle, not just at the beginning. So there what happens, by the time we reach to the decision split point, maybe the contact's preference changes. Like maybe maybe the contact, the customer, by the time they have changed their mind and they have changed their interest. Okay, maybe before it was party, now it's hiking, or now it's fitness. Okay, so in that case, if we use the contact data in the journey, so the journey will use the data, the changed current data. Okay, so not the data which was there at the time of entry of the journey. Rather, they will use the current data if it has been changed. But if you use journey data, it will just use the data which was there at the time of entry in the journey. Okay, so that's the difference between journey data and contact data. So most of the time what happens, it's better to use the contact data. Then when we use the decision split, that will be based on the current information. Okay, in our case actually it doesn't matter whether we use the journey data and contact data, because the decision split we are using just in the beginning of the journey, but which will not be the case most of the time. But in our case, we can use either journey data or contact data. But what I will do, I will use contact data only. And one more thing, if you want to use the contact data, you will get this option only if you have created attribute group and you have connected your sendable data extension to the attribute group contact key. Okay, if you don't connect the sendable data extension in the attribute group, you will not get that data extension as an option in the contact data. So that's why I used the attribute group so that I can show you the contact data and how to use the contact data and what's the difference between journey data and contact data. This is a very, very important question. You should understand this very well. What is journey data and contact data? Whether you go for any interview or whether you go for any certification, you should understand that. Okay, so if we use journey data, uh, the when you will reach a point like decision split and all, it will take it will take the decision on the basis of the information which was given at the time of entry to the journey for a contract. But if you use contact data, it will take the current information. It will decide on the basis of current information. So we are using contact data here, and we'll go to our data extension. Yeah, so this is parameter test. Within parameter test, we have Black Friday campaign. See, this is now, if it was not connected to attribute group contact key, we would not be able to see this here. Anyway, we have created our attribute group. So within this data extension, what is going to be our criteria? Our criteria will be interest. We'll drag the interest here. Interest equals what? Interest equals, now here if it was not equals, if you wanted to use any other operator you could use, okay, but we will use equal. Interest equals, because this is string time, we'll put it in within inverted comma, equals party. Done. Then summary. Yeah, see, so the first path party is already done. Now how many paths we have to do? We need another two. Now the part two we'll do fitness, I think. Okay, we'll do hiking. You can do it in any order, it doesn't matter. Hiking, edit, similarly contact data, interest equals hiking. Done. Hiking is done. And then another one, we don't need to do this because there are going to be three paths only. So if so once the contact enter, it will be checked whether it comes under party or not. If it comes under party, it will go to the party path. If not, then it will check the next one, hiking. Then if it's hiking, then it will go to the hiking path. If not, then it will go to the remaining path. So I don't need to do the remaining another one to do it. It's done. Okay. So see, decision split, and there are three paths here. Now after this, after uh, yeah, after the decision split, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create three different types of email, and I will send them those emails. Okay, now for that I have to select email activities. Okay, before sending the email, what else I can do? I will use Einstein STO, send time optimization. Einstein send time optimization. What it does, depending on the last 90 days data, it 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 derives the uh, like the best time when the customers normally open the email. So according to that, it sends the email. Okay, so I'll use the Einstein STO, and normally I'll use like last 24 hours one. Okay, yeah. So see Einstein STO 24 hours, and similarly I will use for all the emails. And after the Einstein STO, I'm going to use the email activity. So this is the first email going to all the customers, but depending on their interest. If if their interest is party, this email will go. And I'm not developing the email here because that is out of scope of this project. So that is a different thing, maybe in other video. Sometimes actually I have already created one video there. I have shown like how to create email without any code, and I will leave the link here in the description section. If you haven't created any email before, you can watch that one. Okay, so even I have one video on like how to personalize email as well. So you can create one email um, yourself, or you can watch that video and after that you can create it. So I will use one email activity here, and after sending my first email, maybe I would like to wait for 2 or 3 days. Maybe 3 days I will wait. So instead of 1 day, I will change it to 3 days. Okay, 3 days, done. So for all of them, I will wait for 3 days. Now these are the thing, it's your decision, or if you are not, then someone like marketer or your marketing lead, a business leader, they will decide and tell you. Or if you are a marketer, so you can show your creativity here, what you want to do. Okay, so for me here at this moment, so first I use the decision split to see their interest, and according to that I sent my first email. And then after waiting for 3 days, what I am going to do, I will use one engagement split. Or is that engagement split? It should be somewhere in activities. Mm, yeah, this is a flow control activities. Engagement split. What engagement split does is that it will check whether the customers have engaged with the email or not. Now there can be like you can decide the engagement on the basis of open or click. Like you can check whether they have opened or whether they have clicked. Okay, so now before doing this, another thing I would like to do for all of them, I want to use the engagement split, and I have to see whether they have opened the email or not. Okay, so for all of them I want to do, so I'm not going to use the engagement split separately for all of them. Instead of doing this, what I can do, I can use one join activity. See, in the flow control there is an activity called join activity. So in the second one, I'll just use here a join activity, and then this drag to join where I want to join before using the engagement split. Okay, so I will drag it here. Sorry, do it properly. Yeah, see, now from here, so after sending the email, I'm waiting for 3 days, and after 3 days, it's coming here. It's like flowchart. If you have done flowchart in your school or in your college, so it's like that. Okay, whatever you are thinking, you are putting in the canvas. Okay, and then another join activity I'll put in the third path as well. Then I will drag it and I am to take it in the same place. Yeah, see, both of them, after waiting for 3 days, they are coming in the same place. And then for all the customers together, I am checking engagement split. Now, while I'm checking engagement split, I'll click. Unfortunately, I don't have enough permissions to configure the engagement split, but I will show you with the picture how to do that. So here in this picture, you can see that there are options: opens, clicks, bounces. Okay, so you can you can see that on which basis you want to decide that engagement split. You can choose here. Okay, you can even choose like in your email if there is any specific link, like maybe purchase link. Okay, so you can even choose that what will be the basis of your engagement split, like if they click a particular link, maybe the purchase link or something like that, or checkout link, uh, then they will go to the yes path, otherwise they will go to the no path. Okay, so you can choose those. These are the options available: opens, click, bounces, etc. So you can configure your engagement split according to your requirement here. Okay, so yeah, then I will move on. So now here in the engagement split, like I am checking only whether they have opened the email or not. So if they haven't opened the email, then sorry, if they have opened the email, so they will go in this first path and they will basically exit the journey after waiting 1 day. But if they haven't opened the email, they'll go to the second path, and then I will send them another follow-up email. Okay, so so here in this journey, my goal is that if they have opened the email, but in case like marketing, like you can use any kind of marketing approach. Maybe your goal will be if they have already applied the discount and purchased, made the purchase. Okay, so in that case, you can you can do some more follow up, and you can create more assets to do that. But now to keep it simple, I'm just keeping my goal is like this: if they have opened the email, they have seen the email message or not. Okay, so if they have opened, so they will exit the journey after waiting for 1 day here. Okay, and if they haven't opened, they will come to the second path, and here I'm going to send all of them one more follow-up email, and with some more catchy subject line, maybe hurry, your 20% discount offer is going to end soon, something like that. Okay, so after sending that email, also they will wait for 1 day and they will exit. Okay, so this is a very simple journey where I am checking whether they have opened the email or not. And now few more things we have to do. And please, whenever you are working for after each step, don't forget to save the journey. Otherwise you will do everything and nothing will be saved. You will close the screen and everything will be gone. Okay, so please click on save when you are doing the work. Now I am not clicking on the save at this at this moment uh, because I don't want to save it. I will just delete everything. I'm just doing it for training purpose. Now, after all this, if you go to the settings, we have to use the journey settings. Like there are few settings like contact entry. There are three types of entry: no re-entry. No re-entry means whoever will enter the contact, they will not be able to enter again. That's what I want here actually. I don't want to enter the same contact again and again. Re-entry anytime. That means multiple time, anytime they can enter. I don't want that, but in case you require that, you can use. Then re-entry only after exiting. That means they will be able to enter the contact will be able to enter the journey after exiting the journey. During the time they are in the journey, they will not be able to enter. Now, for my case, as I have already explained, I just want no re-entry. Okay, this is one time only. Default email address. Default email address uh, will be email. Now we don't need to do anything for the mobile number. That's all. That's all we need to do. Then done, and then you can select a goal and the exit criteria. Okay, in here the exit criteria, maybe you can choose like once the once the contact open the email, they can exit. You can choose like that, but it's not necessary, it's not mandatory, it's up to you. So the goal also, here I can choose like once like contact open the email. Now 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 again, uh, as I said that if you so it depends on your project. Now here my goal was like the contact open the email. Okay, so I can set a goal for that one. Now if you set the goal, the once the goal is achieved, whether whether the journey is running or whatever, the contact will straight away exit the journey. Okay, so you can select all those things, but here I'm not doing any of those things. So after this, you can save and you can validate the journey. So click on save and then validate. But I will be able to do all these things once my all the configurations are done. Okay, but I just explained the whole journey. I didn't configure the email and I didn't configure the engagement split, so I will not be able to validate the journey, because to validate the journey you have to configure everything properly, then only you can uh, do the validate. But I hope you got overall idea like what is journey and how we can work with automation studio and journey builder. And yes, the schedule, so you can schedule the journey. Like for me, if you will click on that, uh, like run once, recurring, automation. Run once means it will run only once, but for our case, I will not run it only once. Probably I will run it for 7 days at least. Okay, so in that case we can use the recurring one also. Then if we use the recurring, there will be a starting date and finishing date like that. So, and another thing what we can do, automation. Okay, if we are getting the data from the automation, I always prefer to select this one, like once the automation finish, then the journey start, because sometimes it's not necessary that automation will finish at the same time every day. Sometimes it may take little more, depending on the work situation, how many automations are running, at what time it's running, all those stuff. So I prefer, like, if I'm getting my data from the automation for any journey, I select the automation as a source, like yeah, and then select, yeah, see the Black Friday campaign automation. Okay, it already came, so I will select that Black Friday campaign automation. Yeah, okay, the contact evaluation. Contact evaluation, Okay, evaluate the new records only or evaluate the all records. Evaluate the new records only means, uh, like in my automation, I have used update the action as an update. Uh, it's not like that all the records have to be evaluated. So only the new records can be evaluated. Okay, so I'll select evaluate new records. If it was overwritten, then every time I would use the evaluate all records. But in my case, I can use evaluate new records only. I don't need to evaluate all the records. So one more thing we have to mention here, if we use evaluate new records only, on the first run, evaluate all records in the file. Okay, here. All right, so these two are set up. So schedule, once the automation is finished, run the journey and it will evaluate the new records only, but in the first time it will evaluate all the records. Okay, then done. Yeah, so my journey is scheduled now. If my all assets are configured, then I can save, validate, and just activate the journey. Okay, so now here, I have some limitations. uh, this is a training org, so I am not running it, but this is how you will create the project. And yeah, so I hope uh, it will help you to understand what we can do with the marketing cloud actually. So we can create email, personalized email, and we can create message in mobile studio, and then we can prepare the data and we can use those data uh, to send the email to the prospective customers or existing customers for a lot of different purposes, and those things will help us to market our product. Okay, thank you so much. If you like it, give it a like, and yeah, share my channel and follow me, like me, to watch more videos like that. I'm going to create some videos on Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, etc. after this. Thank you so much. Bye bye.